Hello, hello, Sagittarius. How are we guys doing? How was your holidays? Mine were a bit interesting, let's just say, put it that way. So, Sag, oh, let me see what's popping up. Oh, interesting, you're breaking free from structure and authority, apparently. Very interesting. But then again, Sag are not known to be strict adherents and followers of structures and authority, so I'm not even surprised. And this can be just, family authority or local church or whatever. The way you're not conforming is basically what this combination of card means. You're leaving conformity behind, and you're definitely carving your own path with the Page of Wands, just walking off on the beaten trail. But you are also very judicial with your money, managing and making the appropriate decisions to build a legacy or maintain a legacy if you already have it. If the Queen of Swords is exterior to you, she is a very sharp, witty, and clever-minded person who... Okay, so do you need a rest, or is she taking your rest? Somebody is like a little bit time out, maybe not talking to you at this time, thinking things through, pondering what happened and why, etc., etc. So, what's the good word for my Sagittarius? Oh, Sag is starting new project, new adventure, just going out there. Being a little defensive though in this new endeavor. Maybe protecting your creative fire. And the Page of Wands again. So it's definitely that energy of wanting to carve your own path and going out there and just enjoying life to the fullest and not giving a shit about other people's opinions and shit. Procedures and structures, authority figures. You want to have fun, live life, be creative, tame that fire. Okay, so I cannot poker shuffle because of thumb injury, because of a stray cat that I tried to save from my dogs. So we're gonna cut here. Oh, and let me go to your section. Sag. Leaving behind reckless fire, Sag. Your adventurous and optimistic outlook loves freedom, but can ignore consequences and overcome it, which is that Page of Wands energy. This spread focuses on impulsivity and bluntness for wiser journeys in 2026. Let's roll. Everything inside, yeah. 2, 3, 4... and 5, which means basically tense because we love the under the deck energy, and we have a lot of already 2 swords, 3 swords almost back to back, so interesting. Okie dokie loki. Let me go check on my dogs. Okay, Sag. Back with the program. So let me see. The Wanderlust trap, which Wanderlust literally means like the lost, L-U-S-T, of wandering off into new paths and just like daydreaming and all that good stuff. What optimistic thought overlooks practical realities, which Interesting. Because we have the Five of Swords, which is a bit of a shady shenanigans and holding on. So, you are plotting something and you're holding on to the plot. Optimistic thought overlooks practical reality. So you think that by cheating a little bit or lying or playing in a deceitful way and holding that and keeping that a secret, you overlook the practical realities, consequences of said actions. On the very light end of this can be just you working on a surprise project and not letting someone who is concerned or who is the main focus, the main recipient of said secret project know about it, which is totally healthy, cute, and wholesome. As much as it can go into more dire situations of you literally being nefarious and malicious for the sake of it, because it profits and puts you at an advantageous position, and you're holding on to communication or thoughts or news or something practical, and you are not looking at the practical consequences of you holding on to the fact and the truth that you are not being honest, open, and fair in the situation. So be very cautious of that. It's a trap. It's a trap! You know that Star Wars meme with the weird brown looking alien? It's a trap! It's a trap. So be very cautious of your optimistic thoughts, overlooking practical consequences, and practical in the sense that 3D life has consequences, repercussions of things, and you don't want to get in nefarious, dangerous situations. So, what I put? My Sag, the Fool. Yes, you can just dart off into a new direction and have fun and be carefree, optimistic, and jolly. That will lead to recognition, acclaim, and good news with the Six of Wands. But tread carefully in what you hold on to and what is the end goal of that. Queen of Wands. Oh, a beautiful, creative, assertive, bold, sexy, confident woman energy. You can be yourself, the Sag, confidently, boldly stepping into that thing, because you know that this new avenue, this new project, this new path will lead you to recognition, acclaim, and all that good stuff. So you're keeping things on the wrap and acting a little shady, but it's because you want to protect this new venture, which, can be totally wholesome. The blunt pattern. How does your honesty turn into tactless remarks? Ooh la la. Page of Swords. Either delays or spying on people. And the Sun. Now this is a very interesting combination. Or you are just being outwardly foolish, innocent, childlike, immature, playing the role of the Page of Swords, like faking to gather information, all the while having the higher vantage point, as you can see on the imagery, he's on the cliff, literally looking so he's going to the right and looking back to the left to make sure that nobody is behind him, but he's also on the higher standpoint on that cliff side. Your honesty turns into tactless remarks because you are not honing in the weight, value, and meaning of certain words that you may spit out in a moment of carefree joy and happiness, and later regret that because you are just too blunt and you don't care about censoring yourself to protect others. So this is not as bad as the Knight of Swords, who can be a little bit more sharp with his tongue, a little bit more blunt and not giving a fuck. So we are not at that situation yet. With the Page of Swords, it's just more a little bit of immaturity, of not knowing the full extent and the full range of words that you might use to express yourself when you are in this absolute blissful, unbridled happiness state, because you're overexcited about a project or something. Or just like how you are, because you are inspired and happy because you're on that new path of whatever the Fool is for you. So you might want to consider the meaning of words that you are using. Five of Wands and the Empress, especially if you're fighting with a mother figure who sees you as a perpetual child, you might want to mince your words and be a little bit more tactful, a little bit more cautious of your tone, your expression, your words, the meaning they have, and how you deliver the message, so that it doesn't come across as tactless and too blunt and just something you dish out for the sake of hurting this energy. You want to synergize the energy of the Empress, of this mature, regal woman, to avoid conflict with the Five of Wands, and to nurture and guide the Page of Swords into maybe using better words and better means of expressing his ideas, especially when that energy is overexcited by the Sun, by being so happy and go lucky and just wanting to dish out honest truth, but in a way that is a bit more respectful, a bit more tactful, and a bit more thought out. The overcommit behavior. What restless habit scatters your long-term focus? And this is interesting because we have the Five of Cups, which is mourning and regretting what you have lost, a wish fulfillment. So you have lost a wish fulfillment or something that would make you happy, something that would help you rebuild yourself. And it's a restless habit that scatters your long-term focus. Like, okay, so what have you lost? And why are you so stuck up living in the memory and the constant presence of this loss? Because it's scattering your energy and your focus on the long run. So it's just one loss and you still have two cups behind you. So whatever you have lost can be either mended or can be replaced by something else. And okay, we have the Knight of Pentacles, which was the first card that flipped out. It's practical, it's slow, it's resilient. It almost feels from the past having taken too long time in context of not making a decision regarding a higher level soulmate commitment or potentiality with the Two of Swords and the Lovers. If you are in the present of this scenario, you are looking on the long term, how to get back to it, how to make the decision that is practical, viable, long term. But you are still also in that energy of focusing on what you have lost, this wish fulfillment situation, because you took too long time to make a decision. So you will have to see how this fits your life, your scenario, and how you can transmute past tense into present tense. Without overcommitting, obviously, because that's what we want to try to avoid. The release lesson. What mindful reflection will temper your enthusiasm? And here it's like coming to a conclusion and facing reality and facts and those pesky little technicalities for what they are, which temper your fire, your enthusiasm, because the concrete reality of consequences is like dimming your fire. King of Swords is really highbrow, intellectual thinking, analyzing, spreadsheets, charts, everything, whiteboard with teams and plans and everything everywhere. Justice, fairness. So where there has been injustice or something unfair, unbalanced, justice brings the scale back to how they should be. And the mindful reflection of acknowledging the facts for what they are, the situations for what they are, what they were, how they should be, bringing in a practical, rational, analytical approach to situation will temper your burning, fiery, passionate enthusiasm, but it's dimming it down to where it can be contained and can be applied in a more practical, sustainable way, not just fire, 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 and it fizzles out and extinguishes the second it has reached the bullseye. And we have the Eight of Cups. So someone had to walk away from someone where there was a lot of emotional things committed into it, already invested. Ten of Cups, absolute emotional blissful fulfillment. And so with the Eight of Cups, you have walked away from something, but that new path that you are headed on after you walked away from this Eight of Cups can lead to a Ten of Cups. So yes, it's a loss, but it's a calculated loss with the King of Swords, because you can walk to something even bigger, better, brighter, more fulfilling than the Eight. And I think that's about the messages from here, the clarification at least. Nothing jumps out, so I will leave it rest. And by walking away, you also bring a sense of justice to you and the whole situation, because you are now not hyper analytical, but analytical to the point where you see things for what they are, for what they were, and what they can be in this new path that you are embarking upon. The new path, what purposeful adventure unfolds from leaving recklessness. Emotional stability, King of Cups. A new emotional stability. So you keep both your sort of youthful, imaginative, innocent, happy-go-lucky, unfearful energy with the Fool and just embarking on new adventures, with the maturity of the King of Cups, measuring your emotionality, your resources, being a guide, being a mentor, appreciating what you have, giving back to this Fool energy, or allowing the Fool energy to also have a playful turn in how you handle emotions, in how you give emotional availability to whoever is in your vicinity, whoever is concerned in this whole situation here. Four of Wands, you might be embarking on a new romantic adventure, all these things combined, when you can build a stable foundation for a home. Five, oh, okay. Or maybe not. Are you, because the Five of Pentacles is being left out in the cold and lacking money, lacking resources. So are you leaving the home? Or is this like something you need to consider? Because if you go... And my battery died. So as I was saying lastly, if you are leaving an already established foundation situation with the Four of Wands going into the Five of Pentacles, is the new thing, the Fool, emotionally fulfilling enough, King of Cups, and worth the investment so that you can comfortably tackle being penniless or being less resourceful, less comfortable, less in whatever the present situation is, that you are leaving behind, embarking on this new journey, is the new thing worth the sacrifice, basically. And the last card that popped out for you was Temperance, which is basically your Sagittarius card in the major arcana, which is all about balance and healing, patience, and especially moderation. So I would say be very cautious and be advised of moderating your fire, your enthusiasm, and your recklessness in what journeys you embark onto or into, how you proceed with your fire and your words, and what you are hiding, what you are plotting, what you're scheming, what is not exactly super clear or super fair-ish, so that nobody is hurt in the process, and that you yourself are not deprived of what has meaning and value in your life, in your heart, in your soul, that will leave you depleted and left out in the cold and resourceless, or not as abundant, and leaving you with conflict because of this Five of Swords, Five of Pentacles. It's like a double conflict card because of someone not being open and honest and straightforward, doing something behind others' back in an unfair, disadvantageous manner or way to them, and holding on to that information or to that clarity or that honesty. Someone is at the risk of ending in the Five of Pentacles, and we don't want that. So, Sag, let me see the oracles for you guys. And this can be as minute and minor as... Oh, we have something. Like I said, just like working on a project in secret, or literally leaving a whole, for once established, committed relationship that you were building the foundations of a family life. So be cautious of what you say, what you plot, how you plot, what you keep, what you release, because you don't want unnecessary bad luck, bad fate, bad repercussions down the line, because you are just too energetically springing into new things without fully thinking consequences down the line. Your cards are this single lonely woman, girl, looking at like the belly of a tower where it's like light, and the gold pot. So it might be scary going into the belly of this tower, that decay scenario. But again, favors the bold, and by you stepping into that new thing, you will hit the jackpot. Just be cautious of how you proceed, because this tower looks a bit in shambles. I mean, it is holding, but it looks a bit decrepit, in shambles. The structure might be a little weak, or a little unsustainable is the word that pops to mind. So you might want to tread cautiously and tame just a little bit your fire, so that you are not walking into a full-blown disaster. Something for my Sagittarius. Come on, guys, don't make it hard on me. Thank you. Okay, so I had this pop out, so I'm gonna take two for you guys. The Veil, number 29, and the Trail. Oh, you are such a poet, aren't you? The Veil and the Trail. So, the Veil, 29. 2020. The Veil. Illusioned second sight. So trust your intuition and slow down, look into your intuition. The boundary between worlds is thin. Look beyond the visible. So again, your intuition, maybe tarot reads, mine, others. See beyond the concrete 3D things that are readily available to you. The trail, number 2, the past, karma, history. Honor your path. Every step you have taken has led you to this moment. But also tread cautiously, analyze the past. Look at consequences, outcomes. What is the result of what? So you can, and in conjunction with the veil, now that you know more, can you add one and one together and see how things influenced one another, leading to where you are in the present, so you can utilize all that knowledge in making decision, in speaking your truth, your words, your desires going forward without hurting and without being destitute and poor and out in the cold. Because we don't want 2025 repeat in 2026. So, Saggy babies, thank you for having been here with me. Sorry for the ramble, sorry for the camera and the dogs. Thank you for allowing me to read for you, to tap into your energy. Thank you for supporting my humble little channel. I will see you in 2026. Thank you. Peace out.